Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dan Hollifield, and welcome to Last Man Standing. Now, I don't know how we're possibly going to top the freeform free-for-all that was Joe Dog supervised stupid o'clock, but we're certainly going to give it the old college try. And in light of that, I want to welcome Joe Bachman. I want to welcome Rich. I want to welcome Aunt Donna. I want to welcome Dawn and Kiri. So we have a full house.
All right.
And I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to say, thankfully. I don't know what we're going to say, but it's 1 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and I don't really care what we're going to say as long as we don't break copyright. I cannot play the theme music that should be appropriate for this time of day and this particular day because
improv it like normal.
well, basically it's more like Steppenwolf, the pusher here. So we're not going to go there, but wish I could because it's a good song. Folks,
Yes.
the question has been put to us: what do creative types do in their off hours to relax? How do you turn off the little thing in your head that goes, I'm going to be creative today, and kind of chill out and be yourself without responsibility, without deadlines, without any of the embuggerance that usually comes with having the creative impulse to always be on.
There's an off button. Why the hell
Yes,
did you tell me
that's
about that?
that's the thing. That's
Where's
the
the
thing.
user manual?
Hey Dan, check the private chat real quick.
Yeah, I did, and oh, you're absolutely right. I will take care of that right now. Um, and Joe Dog will come back and post again. Um, no, seriously. If somebody wants to vamp for about 30 seconds while I do this, it'll be greatly appreciated.
Oh, right on the vamping.
I forgot to hit two buttons on Stupid O'Clock, but it's been one of those days. All right, now that's taken care of. It's Stupid O'Clock has ended. Joe Dog can bite me. Um,
He
He
might.
might like that.
That's what she
let's
said.
hope
Don't
not.
threaten him with a good time.
I'm not setting a precedent here. Um, stale. You turn me on. Wow.
Anybody else hear that snap of Dawn's neck there?
Hey, I can quote Emerson, Lake and Palmer if I want to. Um, only Carl's still alive, and he's not the one I'd be worried about suing me. So, oh dear,
So
how did hmm, I'm not getting the. Oh, okay. Uh, somehow or another, I screwed up the layout, and I wasn't getting actual show comments,
no.
which
I was
it,
gonna say, should we just watch the next 2 hours? Watch Dan try to figure out how to switch shows.
oh no. I have successfully navigated that particularly treacherous stream of water, but then again, it might be entertaining.
So my brain never really turns off just because of everything that I have going. Um, I would say before it turning off the creative side is actually doing the wood burning because that's
Mm, yes, that strikes me as a form of artwork that is very near to meditation.
right. That's
Chainmail gets the same way. Something repetitive,
mhm,
that there's a pattern, so you're not completely shutting down, but you can put it somewhat on autopilot.
right. But otherwise, I'm constantly thinking of stuff. I'm thinking about
Hmm.
what do I need to get updated on the Indie CD site? What am I needing to update for my apps? What am I needing to do for the parks? What am I needing to do?
Yeah.
Because even the parks I count as a creative thing because I'm having to try and organize events and things of that nature.
And the question actually applies to even people who aren't thinking of themselves as being creatives when they actually are, but in a direction that is not um, immediately brought to mind when you think of creative types.
Mm,
Um, you know, like Dawn being a publicist for Michaela, that's extremely intense to try and figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to say it and where you've got to say it
yep.
in order to get the word out that the lady has good stories to read. And
I don't.
then, and,
It,
and animators going, well, this is kind of an odd thing to do, but I do it and I have fun with it and it's artistic and whatever, but still. Oh, we've got somebody else. I heard a bonk. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh
Oh
no.
no.
Oh no.
Are we dead?
Here's Chris.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, brother, how's it
Oh.
going?
Speaking of somebody that works in the background of someone else's project, Chris is one of the best putting out fires and getting stuff done people that I have ever known. Without Chris, Hallowcon would be much more chaotic and a whole lot less fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's a scary thought.
Yeah, who you gonna promote as a successor? Seriously,
Just
somebody got
imagine. Just
you gonna
imagine a Hallowcon without Chris.
you
Ooh,
gonna have to
boy.
train somebody, dude. I'm serious.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of stuff that
I'm up
you
for
do that
volunteers.
is not acknowledged. Yeah. Now, if there's somebody with a talent for organization and trying to put out fires, please step up because Chris needs an understudy. Let me tell you. Uh,
I could
uh,
use the help. I'm not gonna turn it down.
oh Lord, yeah, you do a great job. You really do. I can't imagine what a convention would be like without you or someone exactly like you stepping up to the plate and going, "Okay, this has got to happen. I got, I can call somebody, but it's not going to be cheap." Um, or running emergency errands like, "Oh, Megan needs a new spatula because the old one broke." I mean, seriously, you
Well, that's
take
because I
care
know
of
where
all the
everything is.
little teeny tiny details that nobody thinks of in
Well,
your
if
job.
I do
Your
my
job
job
is
correctly, then nobody notices it.
exactly. You've got to be the invisible man. Nothing can work without you. But if you're ever gone, somebody gonna have to step up to the plate and try and fill those shoes. And they're
I wish them
pretty
luck.
Pretty big.
they're pretty big shoes. Let me tell you. I mean, um, Bozo is calling with a copyright infringement about the size of those shoes, but
By the way, in case Joe hasn't told you, the contract is officially signed, so you can reserve room with impunity now.
ooh, I want the same one.
I know you do. I will do my best to make sure that happens.
Well, thank you. That is, it's not a big fancy room. It's just it's convenient to being able to go to the vendor suite. It's convenient to be able to go to the con suite. It's just perfect for what Lindsay and I need.
Yeah.
Um, we don't want much. Just and the folks, the housekeeping staff. I've got to praise the housekeeping staff for the hotel for Hallowcon because they work their butts off to make sure everybody gets exactly what they need,
Yeah.
exactly when they need it, and as unobtrusively as possible.
And they are happy to have us there, which you can't say that about every hotel for a convention.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of other conventions I could mention that the hotel would be just as happy if they got our money and never actually saw any of us show up.
I can tell you that I know hotel workers that have many issues with convention people that they don't want them to show back up. And I know this from, having to live with one of those people.
Yeah.
Mhm. Lindsay used to be, my wife Lindsay used to be head of housekeeping at a hotel in I think it was Albuquerque, and she has horror stories about one particular big name band that showed up and trashed the place. And she had to clean up after them,
Hmm.
which thankfully did not involve putting walls back, but almost did, because they did their damnedest to take walls out. But um, let's just say a certain Canadian band, I think they're Canadian, I'm not sure, um, was not high on her list of albums to buy from then on. Thank you, Mr. Bon Jovi. Um, excuse me, did I say that out loud?
That's a Jersey band.
Jersey, okay. Thank you.
Hmm.
I sit corrected.
Really?
And gladly so. Yeah, I can acknowledge when I say
Not that
something.
part, but I just can't imagine that band being. Well, you never know.
Oh,
Oh, I've heard things about.
I've heard the stories time and time again. It's just, it might not have been the actual headliner, but other guys in the band were not considerate to the hotel staff, shall we say.
I've heard the head singer, shall we say, is quite the a-hole.
Really?
Yeah.
Yet he
Better tell
does.
my sister her boyfriend is a bad person.
He has been known for doing very good charity work, though. So,
Well,
maybe he feels guilty about being the prototypical rock star that trashes a room and trying to make up for it by being a decent human being and helping other folks out when they are in need of help. Let's hope that's the case.
I found out who the person was that gave love a bad name.
Oh, Chris, I'm going to have to. Okay.
I was only halfway there, but I was just living on a prayer.
I'm definitely going to have to buy a belt. I swear. Don't make me turn this slow boat, the short boat
Well,
to
maybe she was
Valhalla around here.
Love is a
Yes.
social disease.
Industrial disease, maybe.
I hope that the stuff that I picked up today from the pharmacy isn't bad medicine.
Yeah, well.
And it just keeps going on,
The beat goes on.
You know
Yes,
what?
indeed.
I raise my hands.
Yeah, well, you know what? It gets slippery when wet. Okay.
Hey, that's my astrological sign.
But
slippery when wet.
Yes.
you don't know me.
Like that smile, Donna. I
Maybe I'm
really
gonna
like that smile.
Sometimes I wonder where I went. I don't know if it's wrong or right in life to end up in this circle.
But I will
It's easy to
say,
fall in and out of love.
Dan, to kind of follow up on what Lindsay has seen, what Ted has seen is some of the bands that you would think would be the biggest party people. He works at a hotel that's right across from the Civic Center here in Peoria. So I mean, they get a lot of the people staying there, and the people you think would be trashing rooms and having issues with, they are the most polite people that just literally are like, I'm tired, I want to take a nap. I just finished my show, it's time to go to bed.
You know, I've got a
any
friend.
of you? Oh, excuse me, Carrie. Go ahead.
I've got a friend who is a big Bon Jovi fan who recently converted to Christianity, and now he's always living on a prayer.
This is totally Carrie jokes. I love it.
Oh, Carrie,
and you let him
Really,
go ahead.
One of these days, I'm going to put you in a burlap sack and send you to North Korea.
Oh,
With
my.
you.
Oh God, if he converts Kim
Collect.
Jong Un, good God
Postage
Almighty,
due. Oh, Lord. Ah.
that's a scary thought.
You doubt that I can do this?
No, I don't doubt that you could send him in a burlap sack there. I'm just scared of him converting him into loving that stuff and spreading it throughout the world.
Yeah, if North
I wanna
Korea
know what
gets
I
a
just came
hold
back
of my
to.
jokes, that's gonna be a dangerous weapon.
Yeah,
on
really.
town.
A weaponized Rickroll. God forbid.
Hey, just hope they
China
never
might be
come out with
forced
those
to come
neural
down
links
hard
for the
on North
brains.
Korea.
Oh, Lord. Ah. Yes, people, this is what our normal situation is like. You should see us when we're trying to be funny. Oh, Lord.
But it kind of goes back to your whole thing, Dan, of what the original question was. You said, though, like me, who's behind the scenes and stuff, there is no shutting it off because you always got to be keeping your mind open to what you might see that you can use.
Yeah, yeah, and
So
that also ties into the creative mind of observing the world and picking bits and pieces that you've seen and turning it into fiction or artwork or music or whatever. And it's one of those things. Um, it makes us actually better at our craft to be able to take those slices of life and apply them to a creative thing we're in the middle of. It's it's very schizophrenic, but in a good way without
I was
medication.
say that explains everything.
Really. Um, well, how can I say this? You can't be creative without being just a little bit crazy, because
Did you hear what
otherwise,
he's saying about us? Yeah, I heard that. I mean, can you believe what he's saying? Oh, I can't believe what he's saying. Yes, Dan?
yeah, yes, dear.
Oh, I know I'm crazy. I ain't gonna try to deny it.
I'm not
But
crazy. I just didn't want to.
we have this thing. We have this switch in our head that can't be turned off that lets us watch the world go by and lets us read all kinds of history and um, fantasy and well, I should have said literature to start with. That would make it shorter. And then everything that we enjoy and everything that we observe then becomes fodder for that creative impulse that we can't turn off. I mean, it's seriously, you, I pity anyone that is trying to not be creative when they have that mindset because they will drive themselves into a straitjacket somewhere or worse. You've got to have this, don't laugh, Donna, release of being able to create.
He said you couldn't laugh, but he said I could.
You got to have this impulse to create. Otherwise, you will be dangerously crazy instead of entertainingly crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, get him released.
Can I get an amen? I mean, seriously.
Hallelujah.
And what's even better is when you find a community of other creatives that will look at your stuff and go, "Ain't bad. I like that. let me know when it comes out. I'll buy one.
It might take 9 months to see the results, but it can happen.
But what if you both
Took me a second, Chris. Sorry.
Damn it, Chris! We're not
Sorry,
talking
I
about
couldn't
my.
resist.
We're not talking about my
It's
love
like,
life here.
it's
Oh Lord.
like, oh my God.
Oh.
I found one of my old journals from when I was in my early 20s, and a good portion of it is written in Futhark. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell I wrote.
Hey, now, back when I was in college, I used to sign some of the artwork that I did in Arabic because I was an H.P. Lovecraft fan, and I went to the library and looked up how to draw the Arabic script for the Mad Arab, Abdul al-Hazred, but it was just the Mad Arab, and my teachers went, "Kid, we learned how to read that 40 years ago. Okay, you mind doing a current joke now?" And I'm going, "Do I get an A on the art project or what?" These things, they happen. The creative mind has a way of overcoming lots and lots of hurdles that unintentionally life puts in our way. And then you wind up leaping those hurdles and then tripping over your own shoestrings at the last minute. If you're anything like me.
That script at the bottom of your diary or journal or whatever reminded me of 80s rock band script.
Yes, a lot of them used to use the Germanic runes and Germanic.
I
A little
wish
reminiscent of Anthrax and a few others from that time.
I wish I could actually switch back and forth between typefaces so that part of it could be in English and part of it could be in Runic or Led Zeppelin, the entire thing, fake Runic. But it would be weird. It would be, oh, wow. I had a thought the other day. If I ever actually moved to England and had a canal boat, I'd probably paint the name of it as if it were the 4 runic characters for Led Zeppelin 4, I do believe it was. Yes, that's the one. For the one with Stairway to Heaven on it. And just leave it there and see who the hell got the joke. No, I do a lot. I do a lot of stuff to see who gets the joke. It does carry over into my real life, offline. And so far, it's about 2%.
Well, yeah, but they have to have certain knowledge to appreciate.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it. Those are my people.
Well, it's like Monty Python. To truly appreciate it, you have to know some history.
And I would add Quantum Leap to that.
Yep.
Yes.
In order to truly appreciate it, you've got to know a little bit of history because there's a lot of history in Quantum Leap. Some of it's obvious and some of it isn't.
Especially the new one, because the new one actually goes farther back in time.
I have not been able to see the new one because we turned off the satellite dish. We have no way to actually watch network TV now.
Yeah,
We've
we
got a
watched
Roku.
the first
We've got
episode.
BritBox. We've got what's that fashionable? Oh, Netflix.
Mhm.
And believe we got the Disney Plus. I finally sprung for that
Excuse me.
because my wife wanted to watch a Beatles retrospective special.
I will
And
give you another oldie that will make you appreciate history. Do you remember the show Voyagers? John Eric Exum.
yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I didn't think anybody knew that one. I mean,
Oh yeah, Voyagers.
that's as obscure as knowing that there was a um, Logan's Run TV series instead of just the movie with. Mm, um,
But yeah, I remember
Dr.
it
York.
from years and years ago.
I'll be
The
right back.
the episode with Babe Ruth was really entertaining
mm-hmm. Now
because the trade didn't get
I
made.
am thinking of the same one you're talking about.
Mhm.
It was an island that had different time zones that you could walk into, right?
No, this is
And
just ones where they just happened to get.
Not to interrupt, but I got to take off. A little bit of a family emergency, so I will see you guys later.
All right.
Best of luck. Please
Hope
please
everything's all right.
do
Take care, Joe. Hope everything
Bye,
goes
Joe.
okay.
yeah, really. I hope everything lines
Especially
up
with what he
okay.
just told us earlier. I hope everything's okay with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Rich,
I just looked
I
at
promised
the
you a
private
story
chat,
earlier.
Dawn.
You did what?
I just looked at the private chat. I'm not sure you're going to approve of that last one, but oh,
You had to go off camera. It was that much.
still,
Yeah.
I can imagine waking up to worse things.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, seriously,
Oops, I hit
can
the wrong thing.
I can imagine waking up to worse things, but
Had to be at the green room to get that one.
Yeah.
hey, this is as close as we get to being recorded in the green room. So,
Yeah.
everybody on their second best behavior.
And honestly, it sounds really bad, but the reasoning behind was actually a good thing. So
What is good
Maybe I
behavior
better not tell
anyway?
my story.
I am not touching that line. I don't care how far of a 10-foot pole I've got in my hands. I am not touching that line. Not even in the green room. I gotta no.
Do it.
No, not here.
Not here.
Not here. Not even in a private chat because
Yeah.
God only knows who's recording that shit.
I'm going to tell my story anyway.
Yes, dear.
Earlier on Mike Jimmy's show, we were talking about kilts.
that was probably better.
And used to have this little Ren Fest that would come to Danville. Came here 4 or 5 years in a row. Just a little family-owned thing. Wonderful thing. I've got pictures somewhere of the jousting. But there was a kilt company from Seattle that came every year. It's called Unikilts.
Yep.
And first year they were here, some other woman that happened up about the same time I did asked the younger gentleman, was it true what was not worn under a kilt? This guy was in his early 30s, from Seattle, And by the way, didn't have a car. He biked around town in his kilt.
What?
Okay.
So he's like, he looks at her and he smiles and he says, I'm not going to answer that question. Oh, pardon me, I've dropped something. And he turns his back to us and bends over. And she blushes, but good old Aunt Donna, of course, like, oh my, yeah.
Regimental is a thing.
That man had the biggest nutsack I have ever seen in my life.
Oh my.
It looked like just one, and that big
It's because
around.
it didn't have anything supporting it ever.
Well, here's the thing about utilikilts. They actually have a modesty strap that is part of the kilt that you can button up so that if you are somewhere doing stuff like that, that you don't have to worry about, that kind of things.
Well, evidently he didn't utilize.
Not a lot of folks do.
Yeah.
Even the folks that go, full, regimental.
If you're wearing kilt and you're worried about which way the wind blows, you probably shouldn't be wearing a kilt.
Or get a longer length one.
I was with the running group one time.
Are you sure that big ball sack wasn't the result of a hernia?
I don't know what it was the result of, but I was close enough to know that was a real thing. And I stood up and looked at
you
this
probably
woman.
can figure out his blood type from there too.
I stood up and looked at this other woman, who complete stranger to me, and I said, "You sure you don't want to look? Because that is something."
That's impressive. I don't care who you are.
We were at the running group with the drinking pot.
I said I was close enough to verify everything was real. So he heard me say that when he stood up and turned around. He just grinned at me.
You could probably tell whether or not he was Catholic or Jewish or Protestant.
You'll remember I was looking from the back.
From that little glimpse.
Honey, that thing was hidden.
Oh.
By what was hanging from him between his legs.
Well, then again, these things, they happen.
You ride your bike around town in the kilt. And he's
on a unicycle, yes.
With flaming bagpipes.
Yes, indeed. There's YouTube videos of that, but they don't show what's under the kilt. But if they did, Donna was there first. So there.
That was not what I was expecting to see, I'll tell you.
Well, were you expecting to see that, but just not in that volume?
Magnitude, I think, was a better word.
When I was with the drinking group with the running problem, we would dress up and stuff for different themes, and got to one of the beer stops, and we're sitting there, and I was on a grassy knoll, and I sat down, and all of a sudden I turn and look, and one of the other guys whose name is not going to say it in this room went to sit down above me on the grassy knoll. And yeah, I was like, is that how you always run when you're in a kilt? Because he does dress up in the kilt quite often. He's like, yep. And I'm like, remind me never to sit downwind from you again.
Or to always, depending on your proclivities.
Well, I want to pretend like I'm a perfect little angel.
We had a friend who always dressed in gym shorts. And they were short shorts. And about the third time he came over in those short shorts and was sitting around the living room with us, I'm like, his name here, y'all need to either put something on under them shorts or do something to keep that up in your shorts.
The pant leg should not be longer than anything other than your legs. The legs are the only thing that should stick out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like running shorts. They actually have the brief put in there.
My apologies.
Yeah, well, and swim trunks too. Yeah, there's a cage to keep anything unexpected from escaping. And you'd be amazed at how many people buy something that doesn't have that little
hammock.
There's a good word, yes. Mm-hmm. And
yeah.
By choice, they do not want the suspension method included in their outerwear. And a lot of guys go, dude, you got a problem? And a lot of ladies go, dude, you got a problem? A lot can be expressed in the tone of voice. No, seriously. How you dress and what you choose to reveal or conceal is your own business. And I will not judge you. But then again,
depends on the venue.
If I see something that is not geared towards my actual gender specific sexuality, I will go, I do not see that. I do not see that. I do not see that.
SCP.
Yeah, it's somebody else's problem.
I love that Mike Jimmy actually picked up on that earlier too.
Oh yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. Seriously, there's a whole world of things, different concepts that are covered by things from Hitchhiker's Guide that not only casual readers but really devoted readers can pick up on, and damn it, it's life. I mean, seriously, it doesn't matter whether it's a kilt or a building that should not be there or a building that should have been torn down.
My kitty.
Oh.
Got a Calvin's hat.
Okay, I lost the thread, but
sorry.
Screw it. No.
Sorry, when I see a cat, I lose all control. Shut up. Shut up, Rich.
I was thinking something else.
Yeah. Oh. Somebody change the subject real quick before I say something that's a green room friendly.
I was thinking, because
remember, I worked at an animal
Donna
shelter.
showed her cat on screen, caused Dan to lose his train of thought.
Okay, don't shut up. That one was funny.
Not even in the green room. Not even in the green room am I gonna go there.
At least you were drinking when I said it, because I probably would have had to pay for a keyboard and a monitor.
Your chat. He is turning a little red.
Just along the neck. That's normal. For me.
Oh boy.
No. There have been statements made that I had to, shall we say, ignore, but there have been statements made that I go, oh, I wish I didn't have to ignore that. Whew.
I'll behave. I don't want to behave, but I'll behave.
Jesus Christos, make the ganglia twitch. Now, they're about
You okay?
whom they.
You okay?
Donna, there are about 5 women on the face of the earth that I wish I was not as honorable as I am. And you are one of them. And you love it. But, life is what it is.
Yeah.
Everybody's grabbing their cats.
Hey, you can't see me.
I'm not going out on the porch to grab one of the cats. It's freaking cold out there.
Everybody grab a cat.
Barry's in the other room. The door's closed, so.
Ooh.
He came to see me.
I picked her up. She's like, "What the hell? I was sleeping."
And I
her
got
brother's
nothing on the
spot.
jealous.
You okay,
Why am
Dan?
I sub-vocalizing the Tarzan yell here?
I don't know. I'm just
because my
petting my cat.
wife is in bed and I don't want to wake her up because she is my Myrtle. She is my Jane. She is my everything. And believe me, that's the way I like it. But y'all do tempt me strangely.
Aw. Look at, there's a cat on my lap.
Yeah.
One day I'm going to give that a response that it deserves, and you're going to go, I'd slap you if it went through a computer screen.
No, I'd go with. What was that, Rich?
Aunt Donna has done that in person, and she goes, try it.
Go now, boy.
Go
A
ahead.
comment
Yeah.
I made earlier, you said we're going to table that to the next screen.
Whoa!
It's a green room conversation, so I can go ahead and mention it here. So at that point in time, my best friend was living in the basement of another one of our friends, and we were building out the basement so that he would actually have a bedroom. So he had a couch in one area. We had the studs for walls up on 2 walls so that he would have 4 walls. And then we went ahead and hung sheets until we could afford to go out and get the drywall to finish the wall up and stuff like that. I was sleeping on the couch because we're working on building stuff. So, and then he and his girlfriend were sleeping in the bed, and we were having a argument on physics and whether electricity is purely light energy or strictly heat energy or light energy or light and heat energy. What flavor of energy type it was. We had this argument in our sleep. Neither one was awake. Not only were we talking to each other, but we were arguing physics.
So that was a true story.
That's a true story.
Dude, you and your friend need professional help. Let me tell you right now. This is beyond Carl's ability, but I love it. I absolutely love it. And
woke
I'm
his
glad
girlfriend up
I am
with our
glad
physics
there are
argument.
people in the world that do that sort of thing because it makes my job as a writer so much easier because what if y'all argue about that shit, you're gonna believe anything I write. So
Don't yawn. That shit's contagious.
So we had
there's a vaccine that's called Statesman Bourbon.
we had continuous arguments about that and also about whether gravity actually exists or whether it's the nitrogen content in the air, in the atmosphere.
Whoa.
Wow.
I think gravity is love because it hugs you really tight.
Yes.
Hmm.
I'm on gravity exists. He's on its nitrogen content in the air that is, giving mass the ability to stick to something.
I ain't touching that line with a 10-foot pole.
Mm. This is my other cat, Donna.
Kitty.
It's a pretty one too.
Oh,
This is my girl.
Sweet baby.
that's a big kitty.
Mm.
Ladies, don't get jealous.
You would be surprised because when she was little, I never thought she'd get this big. I'm happy because she was kind of a runt.
No.
Hey,
He's like, thanks, Dad.
She's still
That often happens though.
She is sweet. She's so sweet, I call her sugar.
Yes, Dan.
Dan, we can see you.
I know,
Yes,
but you can't
Dan.
hear me. That's the point.
Oh, we can hear your thoughts.
Yeah, well,
Read
if you
thoughts
can
like
read
a
my
magazine.
you can read my mind like a magazine. So flip to page 3, and
No.
Dear Penthouse, I never thought
I
this
was
would
just
have
going to
happened
say
to me.
hustler.
Oh
I
my
never
God.
thought this would happen to me, but I
You're not
moved
gonna
into
believe
this
what
new
happened the other
apartment
day.
building, and things got kind of strange.
Oh, good grief.
Oh my.
The difference between fairy tales in the South versus anywhere else. Anywhere else, they start out once upon a time. Down south, it's going to start out. You ain't going to believe this shit.
Yep.
Hold my
Pretty
beer and
much.
watch this. Yeah.
One time I went into a trance and perceived a fluffy little kitten on the other side of town. And the first thing that came to my mind was, now that's a cute vision.
I actually was sitting and watching the 1966 Batman show with a friend of mine, and they got to the episode with the villain was
Y'all
Bookworm,
behave.
who was portrayed by oh bugger, what's his name? Somebody help me out here. I should know that. Not Randy. Um, very very famous British actor. Did a lot of stuff that was really high quality. But let me look that up. Damn it.
I got it.
British actor?
Roddy McDowell.
Roddy McDowell. Thank you. And
Hey, I should have known that.
it was a one of those episodes where you thought, oh, okay, if it weren't for the famous guy, this would never been made. And then you see the trap. So Batman and Robin walk up to this huge hardback book about the size of an apartment building, and for some reason, they're dumb enough to step inside, and the cover of the book closes. And I go, well, that's a novel trap. And, and my friend looks over at me and goes, if I had an axe, you'd have a split skull right now.
I totally want Bookworm's hat.
You totally
what?
want.
So I was looking for it, and so I'm seeing the part of the episode. Just I love the idea of a fedora with a flexible lamp on the end, so you could read.
Oh yeah. That, and actually, I'm not sure if that was provided by the prop department or if Roddy came up with it himself. Either way, I'd be satisfied.
Yeah.
It would be awesome either way.
Beautiful leather fedora.
Oh yeah, and now basically,
I like that too.
I thought the most menacing Batman villain in the entire 3 years of the show was the version of the Riddler portrayed by
Frank Gorshin.
John Aston.
No, John Aston. He was frightening.
Gorshin took it campy, which is where the rest of the show was going. Aston,
he played it like a real villain.
Yeah.
I mean, you worried that he was going to kill people.
But Aston's just a frighteningly good actor.
Indeed.
Go figure. His son is a hell of an actor, a great actor as well. I mean, parents like Patty Duke and John Aston. It's
you grow up with some skills that way. Yeah,
it's no surprise, and he gets put into a lot of cheesy, half-ass kind of background roles and stuff like that, but he rises to be the best supporting actor there is. I mean,
Sean or Mackenzie? No, I'm kidding.
Mackenzie wasn't bad, but I'm talking Sean.
I know, I'm just being a smart.
Yeah.
Well, Sean's mom's Patty Duke.
Yeah. Mackenzie's a half brother. I know. I was just being smart.
Yeah, but still in all, besides him being the most realistic villain of the series, Gorshin was phenomenal in the part. I mean, he laid down the template, and it took Aston to actually break that template and go, I'm going to be evil.
But you had to love Eartha Kitt though. That had to be one of your favorites to come on.
All three Catwomen were.
Don't talk about Eartha Kitt. My pants are already too tight.
Yeah, but Julie Newmar was the one that really.
Oh my God, Julie Newmar! I have been in love with that woman since since the first time I ever saw the Little Abner movie, and I go, holy shit, that's a woman.
Her and Eartha Kitt did the talk that just made them.
Yep, and
almost irresistible.
There's nothing against Lee Merriweather. She was a fantastic actress. She did the part very, very well. She
She was
probably
just
could have
missing
used.
that
She
something
probably
extra
deserved
that
a
they
better
had.
script. But I'm serious.
Now, the one
Julie
I had the most
Newmar.
fun watching play a villain on Batman was the one that played King Tut.
Victor Buono.
Victor Bono, yeah.
Yes.
An
It's
accidental villain. If it weren't for the fact he had this bad habit of getting hit in the head and becoming an Egyptian
the
king.
His laugh was so
the only
infectious.
villain
I mean, more so than
Yeah, but
Caesar
I
Romero.
yeah,
didn't
but
like
that's
was Mr.
it's
Freeze.
Victor Bono. I mean, he had this presence. He had
Yes.
this everything he needed was right there.
Another consummate character actor. Any role that he was dropped in anything that he did, he slips seamlessly into it, which is why he's such a perfect choice for someone like King Tut, because that on a dime flip.
Yeah. So
And-
believable, actually.
And Burgess Meredith is one of the most underrated.
Yeah. Now, Bugsy could do any damn thing. And seriously, the reason they call him Bugsy is because when he was on the Rocky movies, everybody on the cast thought he was totally insane.
See,
that was a shame.
I know everybody goes Rocky with him, but I'm a Minnesota girl, so I have to go with Grumpy Old Men. And some of the stuff that came out of his mouth during them.
Yeah. It's like they just said, okay, go nuts. You don't need a script, just improvise. We'll film it.
Mathau, Lemon,
and he did.
Meredith, oh dear God!
Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon.
Yeah, the three of them together were just so perfect.
It was a blessing to be able to watch that.
Well,
I mean,
one of my favorite lines he had was he was flirting with this gal and she was constantly turning him down. It was like, I want to go to Hawaii. And he's like, I've been to Hawaii. She says, you have? Which island? Come on, I want to lay you.
Oh my God. That wasn't the second one. That was in Grumpier Old Man. There was parts of that were filmed 10 miles from where I grew up.
Oh, wow.
So, and like in Faribault, Minnesota. And then like Embrace of a Vampire, that was filmed in Faribault. You probably never heard of that one.
No, I have.
Doesn't mean we won't watch it.
That's why I've heard of it. Yes.
Yeah. And they are sitting in a bar in that movie, and I don't know how much, not so much I drank in that bar because I didn't drink a lot, but how much dancing we did in that bar, or that, what is it called?
Dance hall?
Dance hall, yeah. No, we went to.
You got to get that dig in. Oh,
no,
Lord.
I know. Well,
you
we
were
went to
you were
bars
an evil woman and I love you.
But I mean, I'm just saying that when we're watching them, like, that is so cool. How many hours have I been in that place, cutting loose, having fun?
One of my favorite roles
from all the orifices
was the original Clash of the Titans.
I was sweating it from all the orifices. It was hot. We were dancing. What do you think's going to happen?
Sorry, Chris. Mentor to Harry Hamlin as Perseus.
That was a great one too. Yeah.
You okay up there?
I'm not sure if he is or not.
And another role I don't think a lot of people realize is he did a lot of narration for the Honda advertisements back in the late 70s and early 80s.
And he wasn't even Joe Isuzu.
No. That was played by former Harry Christian in the Airplane movies.
Yes.
And An Empty Nest.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, Clover.
The Joey Caesar commercials were so much fun.
I'm trying to stay married. I'm trying to stay married. I'm trying to stay married.
Green room.
Yes, dear.
Dan.
Damn it, not both of you. I can't be tag teamed at the same. Okay, I can.
You can. You might not survive the experience, but you can.
Show us, Rich. There you go.
I can't survive. Believe me, I'm not the one I'm worried about.
I should have had OBS running on the other screen.
I'm not the one I'm fucking worried about.
Well, I hate to say this, but I do need to get to bed. We have our great niece's birthday party tomorrow.
Oh, well. Glad I got to hang out with you.
Niece's birthday.
Well,
Have fun.
Well, Dawn, thank you.
What'd you
for
say,
being
Rich?
Here.
So when is the merely okay niece's birthday?
I don't know. Okay, it's just easier to say great niece better than boyfriends, brothers,
No,
wives,
I was making a
son,
pun on
daughters. Wait. Sons, girlfriend's daughter's birthday. Isn't it just much easier to say the great niece?
But yeah, I was just making fun of great niece versus merely okay niece.
I know, but when you said that, I was like, "This is
Well,
why she's
you
my
know,
great
you now that you brought it up, there's
Which is
always
living
the
up to his
slightly
nickname.
above average niece, and
Which to say that would be her mother, and that's the girlfriend, and we're just not going to go there.
yeah, I tend to stay away from girlfriends myself. So
Are you having trouble with that
That's the
tonight, though?
trouble.
tonight, no. In general, I am my father's son.
Yeah, Donna, I'm so glad you popped out here with this because we knew we were going to give Dan a hard time.
I love being with my girlfriend. Thankfully, it's also my wife.
There is a reason why my ancestors were evicted from England, and I'm sure it either had to do with stealing horses or romancing somebody else's wife.
You've heard the.
And my money is on somebody else's wife because I don't give a shit about horses.
So
this is genetics.
You've heard the sage advice: get a woman that knows how to cook, one that's your friend, one that cares very deeply about you, and make sure none of them meet.
Make sure none of them ever meet. Yes.
So something came up when Misty and I were dating, and
just one thing.
I'm sure.
But
don't give me straight lines.
She was mentioning something about, you're seeing multiple women. And I'm like, yes, I am. And she's like, what? I'm like, you when you're on your cycle, like right fucking now. Because she was.
No,
and
I'm
this was
sorry.
right before I was about ready to hand over a big
I really apologize for all the thoughts that are going through my head right now. Oh.
She was so pissed, but she laughed.
Well, yeah, that keeps you from getting beaten up.
Yeah.
At certain times you just have to laugh.
That is the saving grace of the Asplin men. We'll say something that makes you want to kill us, but you can't because you're laughing too fucking hard.
Gives you time to run away real fast.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Don.
Time to run away or time to talk away out of it.
Dawn, we're going to miss you for the rest of the evening. And
Hey, everybody.
We're going to miss you for the rest of our lives, but please do come back anytime.
I will come back many times.
Good.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Rich, I was trying to be nice. It did come out right, but I was trying to be nice.
I was trying to be
As
nice
a friend
too.
of mine likes to say, come and you will come again.
Not touching that one, Chris. I'm sorry. Even I have my limits, okay?
That's not what you said last night.
Oh.
I don't remember saying anything but ooh baby, ooh baby, ooh baby, ooh last night.
Sorry, I had to miss it. At last work called.
I'm serious. You give me a straight line, Donna. I'm gonna go for it.
I keep trying.
Oh, you're very trying. Come here, chair.
That's for watching nature.
Yep,
So I've
got.
goes after it.
I got to remember, if I piss her off, she's going to chop my head off with it. Didn't say which one. Axes. Get your mind out of the gutter.
I can't help it. It lives there.
Kind of hard to live after either one being cut off.
It's but you know. As for being in the gutter, it's a little more accessible than up at the heights.
True.
But the postcode is a little bit simpler.
Mine's not in the gutter. Sewer. I've got to go up before to get in the gutter.
I'm with Rich on this one. Oh Lord.
Well, I was thinking about a doghouse that had a gutter on it, so it was a whole lot more accessible.
Although, if you think about it, with modern housing, since there are gutters on the house, if our minds are in the gutters, our minds are actually above the common man.
Sometimes you gotta be clever to think of shit.
Yeah, leave it to the dungeon master gaming dungeon master to figure out ways to.
I believe we found. I believe we found the subtitle you need for your name, Rich. It's ambiguous enough. It's ambiguous enough to where it can mean whatever whoever reads it wants it to mean.
I had a person come through training many years ago. He was a new IT tech, and certain things I'm just like, is he? I don't want to ask because you're not supposed to. But just certain things about him just seem very. And my favorite animal is a polar bear. And this gentleman was part African American, part Chinese, and apparently he was really into polar bears too, just in a different way. Really nice guy. Became a friend with him, and I'm still friends with him on Facebook to this day. He since moved on to a different role and stuff like that.
Yes, but obviously we can't trust him in a zoo. I've always
wondered whether his liking polar bears meant and I'm like, you're a good person. I like you as a friend. I don't like sausage. I like tacos. So. But he's a really nice guy.
You'd be amazed at how many really nice guys have a very complex personal life. I mean, look at Chris. You wouldn't know that he loves show tunes and Judy Garland and things like that, but and he's not even listening. So
I'm listening, and I was with you till you said that. But I do like her Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
And I was thinking, I like show tunes. Judy Garland's not bad,
But I was singing more Olivia Newton-John.
Oh.
and Xanadu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
And the
I can
songs
see
from that
that.
soundtrack and Grease.
I can see that. I can see that. But then again, I also know that you like things like Velvet Underground,
Be right back.
Sweet Jane, and other stuff that people somewhat younger than you and I would
Hmm.
not recognize as popular music. But believe me, if you've ever heard Lou Reed doing Sweet Jane in the long version with the 16-minute intro to the song, oh my God, you have not lived, because that is one of the most awesome pieces of music that's ever been recorded.
I will tell you a one-hit wonder that not everyone is aware of. I mean, they've had other stuff, but it's not really the only one that anybody might have actually heard of.
Uh
Remember
huh.
a little song called "Blister in the Sun"?
Ooh.
Wanna go out like a blister in the sun. Wanna go
Violet
out.
Films.
Big hands, I know you're the one.
Uh huh.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yep. Let me see if I can
I
find
might
the
not
link
look
for
it,
that.
and I didn't
Um.
realize it in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. But yeah, apparently I was a punk. Because looking back, I'm looking at like, oh shit, all the bands that I really loved were punk rock bands. Oh god. Um, I'm like, I really am
Clash.
the non-stereotypical punk guy.
Ah.
Blondie started out
Sorry
as
about
punk.
that.
The Go-Go's started out as punk.
And it was just a few years ago actually. I'm looking back, I was doing something. I know it was Spotify. That's what it was, Spotify.
Hmm.
I was categorizing. I'm clicking on stuff, and I'm like, why is this under punk? Why is this under punk? Why is this? Holy shit! I'm a punk. Um, I was a closet punk.
Yep.
You've been outed now by yourself.
Oh, I've admitted to it for years. I had nothing against the punk rock scene and stuff like that. I'm just like, punks are so cool and stuff like that. And there's no way in hell. And I'm like, all the
Sex Pistols.
bands I listen to are
Hey.
holy shit.
Sex Pistols were okay before what's his name got murderous. Um. All right. Now, folks that are watching this later, I did put a link to a Lou Reed video in there. It's not going to have very many pictures, but it has every note of the music that everyone on earth should be acquainted with, because this is the ultimate version of this particular piece, which is Sweet Jane. And if you are not familiar with Sweet Jane, if you are not familiar with the Velvet Underground, if you're not familiar with Lou Reed, you're welcome.
Yeah,
I have
Donnie, you left when we
like
got off on music.
I
It
don't
had
often include links in the show. I really
yeah.
don't, because there's always a chance somebody will go, "Oh, I own that." And I'll go, "No, you don't. Lou Reed owns it. He's dead. Fuck off." Um, did I say that out loud? Yes,
Yep.
I did.
Yep.
Mm,
It's after
well,
2, so
I
we should be good.
hope so. Um,
Well, you're also linking to another video instead of it actually being played. as that
Look,
music or
Yeah.
something like that. Too.
They
yeah,
have to purposely click on it to access it. It's not being broadcast.
no, it's not. It's not. But I wish I could. Um,
Yep.
but that would be a copyright strike right there. I know for sure. Because
Yeah, we don't
whoever
want to do that.
whoever inherits Lou Reed's catalog is probably going to be going. I should give you a copyright strike, but you're publicizing the King of New York, so maybe I won't. Maybe I will.
Yep.
Now, one of the best things I've ever seen was Lou Reed and David Bowie doing a live concert for Lou Reed's birthday in New York. Look that one up, cause it's like 2-3 hours long, and you got Lou Reed and you got David Bowie together singing side by side. Please, you need to experience this at least once in your life. And you really need to get the entire um, birthday for Lou Reed because it's one of those things that can never happen again because both of the gentlemen have shoveled off this mortal coil, but we still miss them. And they are both undoubtedly superstars in their own right. Seriously. Okay, I'm going to post the link in the actual live stream. So there, go for
I
it.
say it's over there.
And you have my blessing and you have my encouragement to experience this and lots of other things. And I don't, I very seldom do a music link in this show. I think this may be the first time, but it's that important that everybody know about not only this particular song, but those two artists. And hey, it's it's something everybody should know, something everybody should be experiencing at least once. I mean, it's like it's like watching the Ramones once, or Beastie Boys once, or Thomas Dolby once, or any of a number of phenomenal artists who have actually gone on to change the world as far as music goes. And as you know, I'm very passionate about music. Not only do I create my own, but I'm very, very passionate about things that influence me to try and be something greater than the sum of my parts, if I may say it that way. Um, Without some of these folks that I have been influenced by, I would not be able to create what I create. Um, there's the list is endless, but this is way near the top. So experience it for yourselves. and I hope you enjoy it. If you don't, I'm sorry. I I hope I haven't misled you, but I think it's amazing. If you don't think it's amazing, shall we agree to disagree? Politely.
One of my earliest concerts I ever saw on television, granted it was HBO, but it's still amazing, was Elton John in New York City Central Park.
That dude can play.
Mhm.
I mean, seriously, everybody's got this idea he's this flamboyant character, but you sit him in front of a piano, and he is an artist.
And his concert with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra in Australia was truly, every time I hear 60 Years On from that performance, it sends
Hmm.
chills down my spine.
Oh, there's another one that would. I'm sure everybody is familiar with the Who
Yep,
and their rendition of "Won't Get Fooled Again,"
yep.
but there is there is a recording on YouTube of just Whistle playing bass and nothing else, and that gives you an insight into how much of a genius that bugger really was. I mean, not only does he play the notes, but he plays the silences.
Yeah.
And you watch that video, isolated bass, John and Whistle. Um, it's it's so far beyond awesome. I mean, it's so far beyond awesome. It's on the level of watching rocket science show liftoffs of missiles and rockets and everything. It's just this is one of those things that everybody ought to know. And
There are
sort of proselytize there, but
several
some
bass players that don't get their due, I believe.
yeah. Well, bass players are usually overlooked because they're the they're who the drummers look at to get the beat. They're who the guitar players look at to go, what key are we in? And then all of a sudden, bada boom,
Well, they
you get this
determine the
amazing
low
stuff.
end
Oh
of
yeah,
rhythm, and the only other instrument
come here.
that can come close is the lower register of the piano.
Hmm.
Bass players don't like it when pianos start getting in on their territory.
There is actually a brand of piano. It's a Bosendorfer that has an entire octave of bass that most pianos do not possess. And when you hear one of those buggers played by somebody really talented, you wind up with a new appreciation of the foundation of a piece of music. The okay, the rhythm section, basically.
Well, a bass player who gets overlooked because the other musicians in the band were so amazing is John Paul Jones of Led Zeppelin.
Yes, exactly, exactly. That's a great example. Um, now, um,
Chris
there's
Squire is also
oh
another
yes, yes.
underappreciated
Thank
bass
you,
player.
thank you. I was trying to reach for that, but thank you.
I think John Wetton is too at his time with King Crimson and Asia.
Yeah. Okay, King Crimson is one of those bands where if you don't know King Crimson,
You
you
should.
really should. And I highly recommend that. And here we are, me and Chris going off on music to the exclusion of everybody else in the room, and I'm very sorry. I'm very
Kira's
Yeah, we're too
falling
sorry.
good at
asleep.
that.
I if I didn't like the topic, I would have popped out. I'm enjoying.
Well, that's the thing about when Chris and I get together one on one, we tend to.
Gravitate towards music.
That's a
Tell me,
good way to
Dan.
put it. That is a very good way to put it
There is
because
popular culture because you guys have also gone off on movies, which was one of the first shows that I caught for Last Man Standing.
Tell
well,
me
yeah.
something, Dan. If I didn't, if I wanted to change the subject, do you think I'd stay quiet? He's thinking about it.
I don't have to
Well,
think about it. The mere concept of Donna staying quiet is mind-boggling at the very least.
Okay, let me put it this way. If I wanted to change the subject, don't you think I would?
Yes, you would,
yeah.
without hesitation, and
Well,
with very good reason, because
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
you often come up with other topics that are amazing. And seriously,
Dan, did you ever see John Taylor of Duran Duran's videos he was doing during the height of COVID?
no, because I never took Duran Duran seriously. And that's probably a failing on my part. They
I
were
will share
Dan.
some links to
I
that stuff.
I will give them credit that each and every one of them is an outstanding musician in their own right, but not my
He's
cup of
another
tea. Not my
he's
cup
another
of tea.
underrated bass player.
Um, now another bass player I think doesn't get enough recognition is Queen's bass player.
Oh, John Deacon. I mean, his bass line for Another One Bites the Dust is one of the most classic.
Hmm
And
He
not to mention Under Pressure.
he is one of those people that folks don't pay enough attention to. This guy can do the most memorable rhythm parts and set up an entire series of songs, which a lot of people never give him credit for. I mean, everybody knows Freddie.
Mhm.
Everybody knows Freddie Mercury. But
Most
uh,
people know Brian May,
yes, indeed, they do indeed. But they don't
but
give
John's the overlooked one of the
they
bunch.
yeah they don't give John enough credit. They don't give
Roger Taylor's given more than a lot of
Roger
people
Taylor
realize.
enough credit either. He is one of the most outstanding drummers that has ever lived. I mean, he's right up there with um oh God, I am trying desperately to remember the name of one of the classic artists that was a drummer way back in the day that nobody's ever heard of except the
Ginger Baker,
cognoscenti. Oh no, even further back. Um,
Buddy Rich.
oh, thank you. Yes, Buddy Rich. That man could that man could do magic with a drum kit.
And
Jennifer,
Jennifer.
yes. Edgar Winter, yes. Nobody expects Edgar Winter to do anything but sing. And yes, he is a damn good drummer. as well as being able to play synthesizer while walking around. I mean, multi-talented. Um,
Speaking of bass players with synthesizer skills, John Paul Jones is one of
John
them,
Paul
and
Jones,
Geddy
yes,
Lee is
indeed.
another infamous
Geddy
one.
Lee, yes. Believe, if you've ever heard Rush before, it's it's difficult to believe that's only 3 guys.
Well, I'll tell you another one from Canada that's a power trio that gets overlooked a lot is
Triumph.
Triumph.
Yep. I knew where you were going as soon as you said Canada.
And their bass player plays keys as well.
Yep. Now I'm sorry that we're trying to add to your musical education here, but this is what happens when Chris and I get together. There's so much stuff that we grew up with that should be a given for everyone that we don't expect everyone to know, but we wish they did because it's just amazing material. It's like if you've ever only heard Rick Mike Rick Wakeman, and yes, you've never actually heard Rick Wakeman do his own solo stuff, and it's awesome times 10. Believe me, the world is going to be really poor once he passes
Yeah.
because it's so much richer with him in it right now. He can do anything, and he actually did a stint of acting in Quadrophenia. No. That was a Who album. What was it?
Elton
Um,
John was in Quadrophenia, if I'm not mistaken.
Elton John was in
He was in Tommy, I'm pretty sure.
Tommy. Yes, he wasn't in Quadrophenia. What is it? I am thinking
Hello,
of that.
Jennifer. Thank you for watching.
They were right there. They were right there. Um, okay, I'm gonna have to pull a um,
We need
Google
John and his
foo.
Google foo.
Yeah, really. I'm gonna have to pull a Google foo here, but um, it was a Ken Russell movie.
Mm.
Listomania, which was basically a kind of fictionalized biography of Franz Liszt.
Hmm.
And it is a Kurt Russell movie. And it was, because it came out when I was in college, it was a tour de force of, there's no way I could really describe it. I mean, other than it's Ken Russell, not Kurt Russell, two different individuals. Um, Ken Russell is the logical successor to Sam Peckinpah. So, if you want stuff to happen on screen that gets extreme close-ups and some stuff that really nobody else would think of, even if they'd taken acid every day for 60 years. Ken Russell is the guy to deliver that.
So there's some cinematography that's extraordinary.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, there are things, and in Listomania the movie,
Okay. I'll tell you
one of the sweetest parts that you get to see is very, very brief, but it's Ringo Starr as the Pope.
Oh wow.
And you also get to see the one of the ladies from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Little Nell.
Okay.
She's in there as a minor character that you'll notice her because it's Little Nell, but her part in the script is tiny.
She's a scene stealer.
Oh, hey.
Like Kat Dennings in every Thor movie she's in.
One of these days.
Everything she's in.
Do what?
Like Kat Dennings in everything she's in.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
Dan, I'll tell you a cute movie that you need to see sometime if you've never watched it. It's called Spirit of 76.
I think I have seen it.
It's set in the future where apparently America has lost its way and they're trying to find the thing that makes it what it is, and they're supposed to go back to 1776, but they wind up in 1976. It's got David Cassidy in it.
Okay.
It's a cute movie.
Okay. Cognitive dissonance. Yes. Okay, I will look that one up. I really will.
You'll probably get a kick out of it. It's crazy, but it's funny.
Well, considering how much of a kick I get out of everything else. Oh Lord. Where do we go from here? We've already gone this way and that way and the other way, and
topic drift and tangents are our specialty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. Topic drift. We've got that one covered. I don't even believe the Larry Niven mailing list can topic drift as well as we do.
You're talking to the group of individuals that had rocket scientists having trouble keeping up.
But believe me,
that takes some room with the concentration they have.
We have problems getting anybody to keep up, but hopefully we wind up being entertaining for the 2 hours that we are allotted. And unfortunately, we have 18 minutes left. So
that's no problem for us.
If somebody else wants to interject anything to derail me and Chris going on about classical music and classical being any time in the last 50 freaking years.
You want derailed, Dan?
Oh.
Just read my mind, Dan.
I am reading your mind. And
Are you derailed?
I'm also looking and I'm going, those are magnificent.
You didn't say how to derail it.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
left too much leeway.
I'm sorry, Rich. Where we're going, we don't need no rules.
Green Room's going to be a little lighter for at least a couple of weeks.
It's going to be really tame compared to what we get up with here tonight. Seriously.
Oh, really?
I take it someone's on a timeout?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And if he doesn't take care of ancient history and stop bringing it up, he'll be on a permanent timeout.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
And if he makes trouble at a certain con, I'll be very happy to go to the desk and ask them to bring the cops in.
Wow.
Well, no. I do not know exactly to what she is referring to, but if Aunt Donna is going that far, it's serious.
Someone said to me, he offended the woman who is unoffendable.
Damn. I mean,
he also tried to rope me into something that is none of my business.
Okay.
That is no bueno.
Yep. That's a violation of one of the other rules of the room. I mean, the primary rule is you can't get offended. The secondary rule is you can't hurt nobody else.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
My mind is blown. Really, my mind is blown. That's beyond the pale, right there.
Wow.
Well, in any case, it's
yeah. He's had 2 warnings, and just like in baseball, 3 strikes and you're out.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that whoever it is, they wise up really quickly, because if you're in the green room,
we're there to be lecherous and funny. I mean,
we're there to have fun and
Yep.
not have any rules except the rules.
And then I think you know who it is because we try to help him. By her description, that's the only person it can be.
I kind of thought that there was a breakthrough there. No, I seriously thought there was a breakthrough there, but they might be more stubborn than I can tolerate. So
I think there was a relapse.
If he would just not chug a certain beverage, there would be hope for him.
I'm sorry. I'm having trouble here. I'm going to have to kill my microphone.
You all right?
No, not really.
Let him recover.
Yeah.
I was afraid that was going to happen.
Was I right, Donna?
Was
I right?
I didn't hear you.
Private chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can only give someone so many chances.
Yeah, I understand. I hate it. He can be a great guy, but he likes to bend the elbow too much.
He did very well for a long while.
Yeah.
After his first strike. But, I mean, he was chugging hard liquor straight from the bottle last night.
Yeah, that's never a good sign. Especially if you can't handle it.
Oh, yeah.
And he's still obsessed over ancient history.
That nobody's got the power to change.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still. I do know. Yes, and I hate that, but it's it's not my venue. I don't
Again,
make the rules.
Yeah.
not our circus. You know,
I have tried. I have tried not to make rules, but to get reason to be important.
Yeah.
But
But Dan, when you get on a rampage and you take over the room with your mad and your psychotic rantings, what else can we do?
yeah.
it's not up to me. But I
Yeah.
agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Um,
You got to be able
There's only
to.
so much you can let happen because it's
It's supposed to be fun, relaxing, unwinding, and
exactly,
it's a
exactly. The
safe
green
space.
room is supposed
unstructured.
to be for
Hmm.
fun. It's supposed to be where you can let your hair down. It's supposed to be where you don't have to have your persona on display. You can be yourself.
Yeah.
And when,
I mean, I
It's the
wasn't.
corner bar with friends.
Yeah,
yep,
I
yep,
wasn't ready to go to bed last night. I stayed up another 2 hours, but I signed off because if I hadn't have signed off, you'd have heard some language from me that you'd never heard before. I hit that point, and rather than make a scene, I left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I was
um,
honestly contemplating leaving the call myself,
I, I,
but
I did my best to diffuse it as best as I could. I don't know whether or not I succeeded. I don't know whether or not that
I
person
tried to
will
help. Yeah,
remember.
yeah,
I doubt it.
You gotta want to
It's
be
one of
helped.
those.
Or
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
remember
You
how
gotta
it
want
happened.
to be helped. Yeah, you gotta want to be different. You gotta want to grow up. And
And
sometimes there are people that are so set in their ways that being helped is not even an option, which it always should be. Or growing up is not an option, which it always should be. And now I sound really cruel because I'm saying that, but damn it.
Well, the fact of the matter is, if you are so miserable that you want to lash out at everybody, there's something seriously wrong, and you need to do something about it other than just rail against the world and humanity in general.
Hmm.
yeah,
If
Yeah.
you're that miserable and upset, then something needs to change.
Well, if so many groups are banning you, yeah, you got to think it's not those groups. It's
Yeah.
got to be yourself.
Eventually, the light has to dawn. Yes.
and also
Too late for that. She already went to bed.
if you if you are so miserable that your your only outlet is a group of almost strangers on the web, you might want to seek professional counseling to get whatever's disconnecting in the rest of your life taken care of.
Yeah.
Time for Richie to bring up the PSA moment. You know,
No, well, no, Richie, I agree with that. And then I go,
well,
you
if they're
know,
watching, I'm trying to, because they're not going to be able to have that conversation in the green room. So,
I do agree with that. And I go, well, you know, we're maybe 2 steps down from being the green room, and Stupid Clock is maybe 3 steps down from being the green room. But we didn't. We do tend to look out for one another and be there when somebody else needs us,
Yeah.
whether it's us in person or us in general. And
But Dan, you can only try and help so long.
yes, I
Yeah.
know. Yes,
And
I
there's some
know.
instances where we've helped people and it's made a difference.
Yeah.
But no matter how many successes we've had, there is always the unavoidable, I don't really need your help kind of failure. The people that refuse to listen, that think they are not
Infallible.
above and beyond, but don't consider the fact that, yeah, you might need some help, dude, or doll, whichever the case may be. And no matter how much you try, it still hurts when they don't respond in a way that actually benefits them. They just fly off the handle. And that's always going to hurt. That's always going to hurt because we don't have this kind of group. We don't have this kind of conversation. We don't have this kind of community that doesn't care.
Yeah.
That's one thing. That's one thing that's really good about Stupid Clock, Last Man Standing, the Green Room. We actually care. It's
Well,
not
you know
just,
how sometimes the green room is therapy.
oh yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I have needed it myself several times, and I will again in the near future, I'm sure. But if you're not willing to accept the therapy, there's not a fuck of a lot we can do.
Yeah.
And that's really unfortunate. It really is. I hate that it happens, but that is what it is.
And this group
Um,
really is a family. I mean,
oh yeah.
it's, but you still get that sibling that you you love them to death and you're willing to strangle them to prove it.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, seriously, this it's for us in the peanut gallery here. It's they've got a problem. All of that is supposed to be one sentence, but they are refusing reasonable chances to solve that problem or mitigate that problem. Did I say that correctly? I hope so.
I think so, yeah.
Worked for me.
I'm not on Uncle Carl's level of counseling, but I do understand the concepts.
If you're not willing to put
Oh,
forth effort to try to fix an issue, the issue will never get fixed. You can't
mhm.
rely on others. You have to take the steps yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the
And this
thing.
isn't me pushing anything off on anyone. This is me being self-reflective over all the bullshit I've gone through the years and all the bullshit I put other people through the years.
And that's the thing. If you're ever going to get better, you got to start with yourself. You got to accept and
You got
deal.
to start trying.
Yeah,
Well,
really.
plus the
It's
fact
not
you've been able to
automatic.
move on.
Yeah. You got to admit that Sometimes it's your fault, not somebody else's.
And
And
that
you
is
got to be able to move
one of the
on
hardest
regardless.
things for human beings to accept is I screwed up. It really is. Psychologically, that is one of the hardest things that any of us will ever face is I made a mistake and I need to fix it. Now, if you're not willing to take the first step of going, I made a mistake, or the
Yeah.
second step of going, I need to fix it, there's nothing anybody else can do. You're stuck in your own infinite loop of whatever it is that's bothering you.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get to the point to where you're willing to accept I made a mistake, and then the great leap forward of I need to fix this, I want to fix this,
And
then
the
you can make some
correlation
progress.
of the number of people willing to help with step 2 once you've done step 1. If you
hmm
don't work with step 1, people just start falling off. People,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah, once you pissed off enough people, they're either going to block you where they never have to interact with you again, or they're just going to drop you like a hot potato and go, nope, sorry, if you're here, I'm gone.
and if you get to the point where Dan's yelling and I want to yell, yeah.
I really have a problem with me being the voice of reason.
Well,
Well,
Both of us are the voice of reason.
And
that's scary.
I really go, if I'm yelling at somebody, they really fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
And
like Carl and I were talking about it earlier today, and he had already talked to the person, told him to take a couple weeks off and take care of things. But Carl told me that I could go ahead and ban him if I wanted to. And I'm like, no. The other person who got banned, we did it baseball style. It wasn't until that third strike and he got banned.
yeah.
This is only this guy's second strike. But I tell you, there's a third, he's gone. I mean, maybe I don't believe in giving infinite chances because I figure if I give you 3 chances and you're still not getting it, you're never going to get it.
Yep.
and
Good line from an En Vogue song. It was like,
for my part, no matter how much I may actually love you and value you, if you keep on hurting other people unnecessarily and without consent, I'm going to eventually reach my limit, and I will become a bigger asshole than Rich ever even contemplated in his wildest dreams. And I know exactly how to do that in the loudest voice possible with the rudest words possible. And you have already seen a demonstration of that in another occasion with another individual. And thankfully, it was articulate and
You were fairly
grammatically correct for my part. Yeah.
You're fairly articulate and grammatically correct in your assessment of the situation. Technically, yesterday morning, and
I wish that did some good. I really wish.
I hope it did. I really want to see him thrive.
Yeah, this is definitely a rising tide situation, but
He,
sometimes the rising tide sinks a boat.
Yeah, if there's too many holes, that tide's not going to lift.
you can't save everyone, unfortunately.
I
Especially if
wish
they
I
don't want to be
could. I
saved.
wish I could. It
Hell, I
hurts
wish I
every
could
time I
too.
can't.
I,
It
I wish
hurts.
I could. I wish I could save every stray cat I see,
Mm-hmm.
but I know I can't.
It hurts every time that I can't do something that's absolutely impossible. And I will try, and I will try, and I will try, and that's just who I am and what I am. But
Yeah,
th-
eventually there comes a point where you have to cut your losses.
there comes a point exactly where I have to go. I've done what I can do. The rest is in the laps of the gods.
Only so many
So,
times you can strike a dog before that dog is going to just turn and bite.
well, I wouldn't have put it exactly that way, but I'm not
Dogs are
trying to.
very loving, very trusting individuals. If you keep hurting that dog,
Mm-hmm.
there's only so many times you're going to be able to hurt that dog before that dog's just going to turn and strike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I,
I almost did last night.
I still hate that, even though I agree with it. It's just that's a testament to my character that I will continue and continue and continue to try and love that dog and
There is nothing
not
wrong.
discipline the dog more than
Right.
necessary or in a, a more extreme manner than is necessary.
But here's the thing: the individual was the one striking the dog. The green room family is the dog. So we're talking more. We're crossing our analogies.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Don't cross the streams.
yes. It's there's
We
only so
learn.
many times you can offend, so many times you can hurt, so many times you can
Yes,
push the
yes,
line
yes.
before things have to strike.
I happen to have a
And we all love that
larger.
dog.
I happen to have a larger um strike zone um capacity for waiting for good things to come about before I give up. And that's just me personally. And that's actually one of my handicaps. I will give
And
people I
I
will
feel
give
your
people
pain
the
there.
chances beyond what they've earned. And it's one of those things, it just makes up my character because I'm willing to believe that sooner or later they'll wise up.
It's
And
good and bad, Dan. It's good because there's sometimes that
well,
a chance or two might have made the difference, and
it
there's other
it
times
it
where it
hurts
doesn't
me
matter.
when they never do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's when it's
And
bad.
then I go, I'm through. I'm through. I'm through. Just go away.
But it's this instance though, Dan. When you're through, it's sad because you've given them every possible opportunity to redeem themselves, and they
Well,
have not taken advantage of it and done so.
I tend to give people more chances than they've actually earned,
Deserve. Yeah.
but that's because I'm optimistic that they will eventually get the point.
That
And when it's finally driven into my skull that they're never going to get the point, it
yeah,
hurts like hell.
And
But
in
I've
yep.
got
every
to go
one,
ahead.
we've had to
I've got
let
to go
go
ahead
that
and
way.
draw the line right there.
Makes it harder for us to do that for the next person too.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah,
it
I've got an
also
ex-psychopath that makes it hurt so much when I can't redeem someone, give them enough
exactly,
chances, give
exactly.
them enough love, and then every time that happens, you just feel more of a failure because now it's not just one person in that column, it's now two, it's now three. But the thing is that we have to realize, and I'm putting myself in the same category as you, because there are a lot of people in my life that I've had to walk away from because after too many years and too much, I just had to say, okay, for my own safety, for my own mental health. I mean, hell, because of my ex psychopath, I was almost ready to go to frickin' Hungary, Eastern Europe.
I know where Hungary is.
Well, because I'm a fat guy, some people might be going, Hungary, isn't it like every
He's
5
going
minutes?
to Waffle House.
Um, but thankfully, that psycho pushing me to that point brought me to that miracle sleeping in the other room. At least she's probably sleeping in the other room, considering it's 2 o'clock in the morning. She's usually in bed by now. But if it wasn't for my psychopath, I would not have found Misty. So, on one level, I'm happy she was. Sorry, I'm going to have to drop the F bomb here because of how psycho, a fucking psycho, that she was. She drove me into the arms of someone that let me see that physical and mental abuse isn't right. And that's
Exactly.
opened my eyes through more throughout the years because of that. And I'm not saying he's physically or anything like that, but face it, the vitriol that was being spewed and him yelling and calling you and I rude for trying to help him. And then trying to pit you and I against each other, which I thought was hilarious. Tell him, Dan, and you're like, I kind of agree with him. Tell him, Rich. You want me to tell the guy that's backing me up he's wrong? Anyways, but
These things they happen, but it's okay. No, I gotta get real here, which is kind of hard for me to do because I'm a writer and the unreal is my bread and butter.
Forte.
our wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
But there comes a point to when, unfortunately, someone has demonstrated that they are unwilling to be helped.
Yes.
And it hurts so damn much because you want to help, but they won't let you. I think I said that right, but I'm not sure. I'm not a philosopher. I'm just this guy. But still, every time something like that happens, no matter who it is, and you want to help so badly, and you can't succeed because the help that you are offering is not accepted and acted upon. I'm sure Carl managed to have several instances of that when he was a counselor. People listened to what he had to say and said, fuck off. And it's just not. It's like it's so frustrating. It's so
Carl had a
you.
reputation of making his clients cry.
Hey, that's that that's actually part of
Sometimes
the
you gotta
healing
have that
process,
break
actually. But
to grow
you got to
stronger
have
again.
that breakthrough to be able to go. Oh, well, maybe you're right. And once you get past the maybe, sometimes people can be helped. But until you get to that maybe and out the other side, it's anybody dealing with them is just going, oh my God, can you please shut up and go away? And I hate that because I'm supposed to be this knight in shining armor. I'm supposed to be, by the way I was raised, this problem solver. I'm supposed to be this infinitely patient guy. And my patience does not go to the infinite. I'm sorry. When I reach my limit, and it's a huge limit, as you can testify, when I unfavorably react to someone after a long time, it's almost Shakespearean. Its capacity for verbal expression, um, and that's another thing you can testify about. Um, and I get overly eloquent. I mean, insultingly eloquent, just so that I make my point and go, I'm done. Goodbye. Click. Um, and it's very, very, very few times in my life that I've reached that hard stop. I hate to reach that hard stop. I wish I could make a difference. And when I can't make a difference, oh God, it hurts. It really hurts. But I got to quell my inner smartass and go, this is how it is. This is what you did. This is why I'm angry. Go away. Once I reach that point, and y'all know me. Y'all know how patient I am. Y'all know how polite I am. Y'all know damn near everything about me except maybe what size socks I wear. Um, seriously. And if I screwed up with any circumstance like that, I would fully expect for Donna and Carl to kick me out of the green room, for Joe Dog to kick me out of Last Man Standing and never have it happen again, or Stupid O'Clock and never be back there again. And I would accept that because I crossed the line.
You get 3 shots.
If I'm done with you, you've really
I've only got one shot. That's all I allow myself. Either I do it
And now Hamilton's stuck
correctly,
in my head.
or I do not do it correctly. And I'm going, give me 3 steps, mister.
Give me 3 steps. Give me 3 steps, mister.
Yeah.
3
As long as
steps.
Linda Lou ain't around, we're probably in good shape.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Wow,
We
it's
are
3:20.
we are 20 minutes past the actual limit of the show, but we actually have gone into not only show but therapeutic, which
And an important topic too. I mean,
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
really appreciate everybody
yeah.
sticking around and giving their 2 cents, and sometimes they're $20 worth of
Mhm.
opinion. And I really do.
not
I
that
really
opinionated.
do.
Well, I
And
appreciate you letting me know what's going on because that's something I need to be aware of and make sure that Joe's aware of in case
Hmm.
something should happen.
well,
I don't think
yeah,
it
yeah.
will, but
I don't.
I
I
at
don't.
least need to be aware of it.
Well, like I say, I don't think it
What?
will, but
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if it does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I doubt she's going to do that
But
because I think that's a busy time of year and she enjoys that holiday. She ought to
going
get some enjoyment out of life.
going to a convention run by or headed by the president by because he's the president of your guys' board, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Going to
He's the con chair.
going to the con of with the con chair of the person who banned you from his shows. Do you think that's a really wise move?
If he was wise, he wouldn't be having all these troubles with us.
Yeah, he
Calvin just almost fell off the banister.
Mm.
I'm sorry, Calvin.
I thought cats were supposed to be graceful. This cat's as graceful as I am. Poor thing.
Some of them are clumsy,
I mean,
and he is still young yet, so he's still learning his way in the world.
he's a year old and he's been on that banister at least 7 months now, and he still walks like. And then
Barry's
he
uncle Pisa had all the grace God gave a drunken brick.
Well, maybe he's been nipping on Uncle Carl's gin.
Instead of a
You know, if he's got any residuals left in the glass, he may be licking from it.
or if any of
Uncle
that got
Carl
spilled
doesn't
on
use a glass.
or if any of that got
Okay, if
spilled
he leaves the bottle
his
open,
cat
he may
house.
be licking out of it.
Damn it,
I'm
Chris.
speculating here, folks.
Damn it, Chris.
The worst part is he'll drape himself over with his butt on one side and his head hanging down to the foyer downstairs, and then he starts doing the little seesaw thing, and I'm like, oh, he's going this time.
Hell, I had a stoner cat that gets some of the craziest positions you wouldn't think he'd ever be able to stay put, and he wound up being it. Yes, he was a stoner cat because he's like, hey, dude, what we got here?
How
But
much?
you get out some raw chicken to prepare it to cook. He turned into the Flash.
How much catnip did that cat get to be so stoned?
Not
That's
enough.
just it. He didn't have any
obviously.
catnip.
And
Like I
Chris,
said, he was
So
an
he's
actual
just-
stoner cat.
Chris, thank you for bringing up at least 7 of my ex-girlfriends. But
Hi there.
Oh, well, you know.
Hey! I just said 7, not 52, which is closer to the actual sum.
Oh, was that
But
all?
Well, that's good, Dan. That means you got 2 lives left.
excuse me, but Time Lord.
His sister
I mean,
looks so
seriously.
sweet, and then he pow.
Oh. Okay, we're 20 minutes beyond the end of the show. We're 30 minutes beyond the end of the
Not
show.
quite, but we're getting there.
I seriously want to thank everybody for being here tonight.
Yep.
And there's not a lot I won't do for any of you. I own a shovel and 68 acres of land. So, you know how far that there's not a lot I won't do for you will stretch. Kiri, do not push my limits.
Actually, now that you mention it,
5 per
I
year
got this
is
boiled.
enough.
Looking proud of you.
It's like Kiri to say something like that.
Mama's rose bushes look really good this year. Let me tell you.
That's what she said.
And nobody is looking for those revenuers, so we're doing good. Still,
Yeah, Donna, if you ain't figured it out, I may be sweet sometimes, but I'm a mischievous little shit.
Yeah, I've found that out.
And that's why we love you, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
actually, Chris, that's why I love you. You have this capacity for coming out of left field and going into orbit that I just admire. I wish I could do it. But some of the stuff you say is not only subtle but sledgehammer.
It's not comedy gold, it's comedy platinum.
You really,
Thank you,
really.
Sir.
I do want. Kiri didn't say shit tonight, but I want to thank him for
We
being
did
here.
earlier.
Yeah,
Well,
and then
not
immediately
much.
He said more than stupid, but
we went off into old people shit, and Kiri sit back and go,
no
"I'll
one went
deal
off
with
in
that
music
when I
lover
get
shit.
old." But seriously,
If we want to get into old people shit, all right, I got my Lasix over here.
get off my fucking lawn.
Yeah, we talked about music appreciation, Dan.
Yes, I know.
And for those who don't appreciate our music, you're
sorry.
missing so much.
I'm already working on my homework that Dan gave me regarding Frank Zappa.
Oh, please do. Please do. Frank is one of those well, I started to say unsung, but definitely he got sung musical geniuses that everybody with a spine should be able to appreciate the content as well as the musical ability. Now, if you don't have a spine, it's going to be, oh, that song has dirty lyrics. I'm not going to listen to that.
Also, Zappa is one of, in fact, I think he's the only musician that has an actual asteroid named after him.
Mm-hmm.
Zappa Frank, because you can't use a first name first in a naming a cosmic body.
And he's one of the few composers in modern music that actually had a PhD in music.
Not only that, you should check out his son DeWeasel's cover of his song "My Guitar Wants to Kill Your Mama," because the video has some film noir stuff in it, and it's campy as all get out. It's so much fun.
Oh yeah, but listen to Frank's version of my Guitar Wants to Kill Your Mama first, because that will give you context for Dweezil's. Believe me, Dweezil's really good, but Frank is Frank. I mean, seriously, this guy can do stuff that you would think Jimi Hendrix would stand back and go, "What the fuck?"
And speaking of Jimi Hendrix, do you know who one of his favorite up and coming guitarists was right before he died? Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top.
Mm-hmm. I started to say it surely wasn't Stevie Ray Vaughan, because Stevie Ray Vaughan hadn't been born at the time.
Yeah.
So Society's Lost. And Stevie Ray was amazing. It just goes to show you what you can accomplish if you set your mind to it. And
darn!
You practice what you're intending to do forever.
I forgot to mention this earlier. Be remiss in not saying it before we sign off. Melinda Dillon, who played the mom in A Christmas Story, passed away. She was 83 years old.
And also earlier this week, we lost Wednesday Addams, the original Wednesday.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I posted in Stupid O'Clock and believe
now,
another.
She was actually quite awesome in her post Addams Family life. She did a lot of stuff that a lot of folks would not understand or accept or comprehend, but she was outstanding. She was outstanding.
Yeah. Also, Irene Cara of fame died. She was only 63.
Oh.
Wow.
Apparently, she had very high cholesterol and very high blood pressure, and that contributed to her death. May she rest in peace. But she's still going to live forever, and her name will not be forgotten. It will definitely be remembered.
Well, the only smartass I could remark that I can make to that is, folks, I'm 65. I'm still here. You're stuck with me. So suck it up.
I'm 66 and still here, so.
And still delicious.
You better believe it.
I better end this show before I wind up single.
That might not be a bad idea.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night.
Go good, guys.
Oh yes. let's see what happens when the good guys go intense.
And we will.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.